We are live.
Okay, seniors, yay! Dr. J here, Mr. Cedillo, proud principal and associate principal of Newman Smith, where our mission is to graduate all scholars, all of you, to be college, career, or military ready without remediation. Well, let's get this party started. I'm going to share my screen. And then once I do that, we're going to walk through an event. How this practice will go is I'm going to walk through one or two chunks of the graduation, and then I'll do what's called camp there. When we camp there, that means I'm going to allow for you to put questions in our chat. So if we are ready, without further ado, let's look at our packet together. Okay, hold on, that did not. Here we go. All right, so we've got Mr. Cedillo on the chat. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, not to make you dizzy, but we are already at our graduation WebEx. The first thing that you need to know is that graduation will be at Tommy Standridge Stadium. That is located in Carrollton. It is where we play our home football games. So that's Tommy Standridge Stadium. It's in Carrollton. And we need you to be there at no later than 5:30. So 5:30 is when our scholars will arrive, and we're going to talk you through your parking momentarily. Our live stream information has been posted. We have that link. We're going to fill that in as we resend this packet to you tonight. For tickets, graduates and graduate families will not need a ticket to enter the commencement ceremony. Each graduate may bring as many family members as they would like to bring. Dress code. The school-appropriate shorts and t-shirts are permitted under your regalia. Graduates will be walking farther than usual. You'll see a picture of that momentarily. You're going to be walking over 100 yards to get to your seat and possibly more to actually go through the graduation process. So we highly encourage tennis shoes. Heels are strongly discouraged due to the walking distances, but also due to the turf. Decorated caps or gowns are never permitted, and please arrive with your gown either draped over your arm or carrying your cap. No cell phones will be permitted. Leave your cell phone in your car, only carry your keys with you. We're going to attempt to do everything we can to be socially distanced. And for graduation programs, we will be giving those out at Standridge Stadium, as well as we'll have a QR code in case your families do not want a paper copy. So Mr. Cedillo is holding up the QR code. So Mr. Cedillo, if I'm sharing my screen, can they see that from you?
Some may be able to, depending on how they have their video set up.
Okay, great. Well, while you're speaking, go ahead and hold it up one more time.
Yeah, but you will be able to see our graduation program as well as a QR that you'll be able to scan, as well as you'll be able to download it and forever keep that program as a PDF file there on your computer. So you'll always have that memory of your graduation.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Cedillo. So here we are talking about diplomas. Now, this has changed. The diplomas are actually going to be given out of the cafeteria of Ted Polk Middle School. And this is the information we are sending tonight with the graduation packet. We will be actually talking about the diploma pickup at the end of our graduation rehearsal very briefly. Very briefly. All right, so let's move on. After diploma pickup, let's go to the weather. So we're an outdoor venue. Now, this isn't the inclement weather. This is just the weather. So we want you to dress appropriately. Now, let's go to if we could put any questions around diplomas over to the side, we'll camp there at the very end. But so far, just camping at location, social distancing, dress code, tickets, and time of arrival. Do I have any questions in the chat, Mr. Cedillo, about dress codes, tickets, time of arrival, or location?
Not as of now, but I'll give them here a few seconds just in case. Believe we do have a question. Maya, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and typing that question there and we'll be able to answer it for you. Okay, one of the questions that we were being asked here, Dr. J, was in terms of a customized sash. I would imagine probably additional regalia. Would scholars be able to wear that?
So that's a great question. Whoever asked that, thank you for asking. But no, the only sashes or stoles or cords that you can wear are the ones that are approved on our student academic colors on our program. So we will be, if you have one, we will let you know. We check every graduate. So we make sure that all of our graduates are wearing the stoles or the cords that came from our academic colors or that were given at the walk or given by your teacher. So that's it, district policy. So unfortunately, nothing customized. It has to all be the academic regalia and has to be approved by CFB ISD. Great question. Any other questions, Mr. Cedillo?
Just one question. Do we go into place wearing our cap and gown, or are we going to change there?
Okay, that's a great question, Maya. It may be pretty hot tomorrow, so if you want to stand in lineup and wait to put on the gown, you could do that. Most people do walk in their cap and gown. I will be there in my cap and gown at 2:30. Like, I'm so excited. So I can't wait to put that cap and gown on. I'll be walking in it all day. But if you get really hot, you may want to wait until you're in line in the staging area and then get your cap and gown on. You can do that too. But everyone upon arrival will get wanded, and we'll go over that in just a moment. Anything else in these instruction, dress code, tickets, programs, information?
There was one additional question here, I believe would go to everybody. In terms of the phones, the reason why scholars are not able to have them.
Well, let me be honest, I really don't know. It has been a policy in CFB forever that you guys not have your phones at graduation. One of the reasons that I actually recommend against it is we don't want you to get distracted, not, even though your teachers will stand you up, we don't want you to be distracted. So I think that's the main reason, so that you can really live in the moment and be present at your graduation. But I will find out. That's just been a rule for the last however many years that we not have those on the graduates. So I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer than that. The one that I would try to come up with if my own son or daughter were asking, I would say I think it's because they don't want you to be distracted, but I will work hard to find that right and correct answer. Thank you for asking. Any other questions, Mr. Cedillo?
One important one, and I think it'll affect everybody. Question being asked: can we bring water bottles?
Well, you don't need to. We are providing water for you in the staging area, so you don't need to. So travel light, people. No need to carry tons of water. All right, well, let's move on. We're going to hop past the diplomas and we're going to go down to concessions and flower sales. The concessions are not open. The restrooms are open, of course, and then there are restricted items. The main thing that we want to tell you to tell your families is Standridge Stadium has a clear bag policy. And so if your parents are coming and they're going to bring their purse, or their backpack, it has to be a clear bag. They don't allow anything other than clear bags into the stadium for the safety of everyone there. So a clear bag policy has to be followed. So just make sure you're telling your parents. You don't want them to have to run back to their car, put their purse up. So just give them a heads up. Clear bag policy must be followed. Should you have anything lost and found at the event, we've listed a number here for you to call. Now we're going to skip this before the event. That's when the faculty has to arrive. We've got to arrive and be ready for you to arrive. So 5:30, you must arrive at 5:30. So that really means you want to be, if you're there at 5, great. Like, you don't want to be pulling in the parking lot at 5:30. You want to be parked in your car and on your way to the staging area at 5:30. let's finish this small piece where it says security will be scanning all graduates. Then graduates will report to their counselor to pick up their index card. This index card is so important. It's how we announce your name at graduation. The graduates will line up behind the letter of their last name, except for our top 10, our class officers, and our early grads. They are in the first chute. So top 10, class officers, early grads, everyone there is in line by alpha, and we will have these letter signs that will tell you on music stands that will tell you where to go. So if your last name is, we have 26 of them. So you'll go to the chute that matches your last name unless you're in the top 10, an early grad, or a class officer. All right, so before we camp, graduates will line up by the letter of their last name, and the parking spots closest to the staging area will be reserved for faculty and graduates. So let's look at the picture and then we will camp here. So you can see the staging area in the pink dotted line. The faculty will get there first, and then the graduates, and then behind the graduates, we could do parents over on the visitor side toward the back or on the south end, and then we can do parent parking all on the home side. So let's camp there for just a moment. Mr. Cedillo, what questions do we have in the chat?
We actually have a few. However, I've been answering some of those for them while you have been speaking. So I do believe that we have covered some of those questions. We had one. If for some reason one of our scholars does need an inhaler, EpiPen, is that something that they will be able to check in, when they are coming in?
Absolutely. So security would notify us. We would want to make sure that our school nurse has that is something that you do need and use on file, and then we will help you from there. So you'll bring it in with you, you'll let security know, and then they will flag an administrator. Great question. All right, let's move on. So here is our staging area. The photo of the area below is a bird's eye view. The area below, labeled student staging area, is where scholars will enter from their cars. Upon entrance, you will be given a mask to wear. We have bought the class of 2021 and all of our faculty and staff a mask to wear tomorrow. So if you come up without one, we will be handing every scholar a mask as they come into the staging area. So it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's a white mask and it has a green NS on it. We also ask that you try to remain socially distanced from other scholars and professor. Please enter the staging area at the letter of the alphabet your last name starts with, except for, one more time, top 10, early grads, class officers. All right, so let's look at our entry and exit flow. So on this picture, you can see the light blue arrow that goes from RVHS and ECHS. You don't need that. We will all enter from the staging area that says NSHS, CHS, and RLT. Okay, let your parents know, and we're going to actually go through the procession in just a moment. Let your parents know that that they opened the doors for them to come in at 6 o'clock. There are no tickets, so it's first come, first serve with seating. We have an amazing senior video that's going to play for you guys while the families enter, and those were done by advisory class, so they're not in alphabetical order. Any questions so far?
Dr. J, right now we are clear in terms of questions for this particular section.
Okay, wonderful. So at this time, I'm going to let Mr. Cedillo, I'm going to go back up to this picture and I'm going to let him walk you through how we actually will leave the staging area and get to the lineup. Now, here's what's going to be very important as you listen to Mr. Cedillo give you instructions. We will be coming out of the staging area one line at a time. Our A through L last names will come out, or somewhere around LM, wherever we're the middle, will come out first in one line. So if your parents are sitting in the stands and they're like, where's the rest of the graduates? It is after the A through L line is set that the rest of our scholars, the M through Z's, come out in the second line. So at this point, I actually have to stop sharing my screen so Mr. Cedillo can walk through, or actually, Mr. Cedillo, you tell me when to stop sharing so that we can walk you through what the procession will look like.
Thank you, Dr. J. Actually, if you want, you can just go ahead and scroll down. We have added those pictures to this document already. And it will give us really one, if we stop right here, this is a bird's eye view of the actual staging area. It's a little difficult to see, but I did want you all to see exactly where we are staging. You can see some of those barriers. It's what we call the chutes. That is exactly where you will come in. You will get your note card with your name. It'll have the alpha. You'll find your line, and then you'll line up. That is kind of where our holding area of sorts. If we want to scroll down to the next picture there, Dr. J, please. You will see a closer view here of what that actually looks like. So in this picture here, it is a corral. So there is almost like a secured entry where you will be coming in through. That is where the district and the stadium will have metal detectors. You'll go through them, you'll get your card, and then you will find your alpha letter. Let's go ahead and go on to the next one, Dr. J, there for me, please. Much closer view here. So for example, what you will have on, you see the barrier there. On one side, you would have one letter. Right next to it, you would have another. So here we could be looking at A and B together, C and D together, E and F together, so on and so forth. So now you've actually seen exactly what it looks like. Move on to the next one there, please. And now what we're doing is we're actually walking in. This will be the route that you will walk in. So you will go through those gates there. We will start with the right line, the right side of the stadium first. And we'll go ahead and walk through there. Let's scroll down to the next one. Wanted to make sure that you actually saw the door. That secondary door will be open, so you'll have a little bit more space. We can scroll down to the next one. You now see here, you have a right, you have a left. The right side obviously will go to the right. If you become the second line or the left line, you will veer off to the left. The beautiful part about this is we will have 2 staff members per line that will be leading us. So that really makes it to where all you have to do is follow the person in front of you and you should not have an issue. Let's move on to the next one there, please. Now you're going to next one as well. So now we are getting closer and we are now walking in. We can continue to scroll through this a little bit more there. So now you will see they're still divided up. We will cross the track. Once you have the right and the left line, there is no crossing over. We need exactly 18 scholars per line. That is exactly how many seats we have. There are 20 per side, 2 teachers, 18 scholars. We got 20. We want to make sure that we keep it at 20 at all times. Just keep moving. You will continue to walk. You will continue to walk, and you will make your way. The next one there, please. You get up to the goalpost. We can go again. What next picture? And now this is the view that line 1 will have. Line 2, which is our left side, will be on that other side. So we're facing the scoreboard there. Let's go on to the next one. Very important in this next few slides, you see there's plenty of space, plenty of room between that. But if we go on to the next picture there, we will notice, go on to the next one, you kind of start seeing that there's this big old apparatus right in the middle. We will have to veer off on the sides of each one. That is the video and sound as well. So it was nice for us to be able to get out there today to see that. That was not something we were told was going to be there. So now we absolutely know our right side will go to the right of it. Our left side will go to the left. There is plenty of space there. It's not an issue. We're talking 3 to 4 feet between that sound system there and the chair, so we have no issue. Let's go on to the next one. Remember, this is you walking in the entire way. So we continue to walk. You see there our first 4 rows. We go on to the next one.
And Mr. Cedillo, there's something very important that we forgot to mention to everyone. So as you all know, for many, many years, the 5 pillars flags of Newman Smith High School has led us, including myself, the dignitaries, and all the professors and graduates, down to the stage. So we've started a new tradition this year, which we believe in. Every year, our torchbearer will carry that flag, if willing and able, to lead us down. So that will be Chase McMahon. There will be a teacher in his spot in the Alpha, actually walking for him while he is carrying the flag. Once he secures the flag at the podium, then he will be able to return to his seat.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is one, at this point, we will veer off into each line. Our administrators will point you to the seat. I don't know if you can actually see it there in the back. Our video is already playing, and it was playing at the stadium at the time that these pictures were taken. Let's move on to the next picture. So now, once we get to the point that you are going to graduate, this is the view that you are going to have. So our right side will graduate first. You will stand up, you will make your way towards the home side, the press box side. You'll end up lining up pretty much here on this blue line, so we can move on to the next picture. And you will then see, you'll take that turn. All that will still be there. That's the sound system. So right at the 10 is pretty much where you will veer into that, and we'll have an administrator pointing you in that right direction. Move on to the next picture. That is the view that you will have once you get closer to it. We can go on to the next one there, Dr. J. And that is a ramp. It is a ramp, which is awesome. Makes it very easy. I was able to walk that today. You got the rails there in case anybody needs any kind of help. Ladies, if you do decide to be brave and wear some heels, you do have that opportunity to use that rail. But you will have a table off to the side there where you will hand your card to one of our announcers. They'll announce your name. You go ahead and cross the stage. So I believe I may have been the first Newman Smith person to walk that stage here today, but we can move on to the next picture. You see here the stage. You walk across. You will grab your diploma cover. You'll shake a couple of hands or fist bumps, whichever one you feel comfortable with. Dr. J will meet you there. You will make your way down. This tent here is our flash photography. You will come into that tent. You will have an opportunity to, at that point, remove your mask. You will hold your diploma cover in front. It's a beautiful picture. Everybody will want that picture. Trust me, it's an awesome thing. They do a great job with it. So you'll go in there, you'll take a picture, you come out of there, and then our right side will then make their way back. Teachers will flag them down, and then you will grab a seat there. So that is the graduation, at least for our right side. Now, if we move on to the next picture there, if you could scroll down for me. Now, this is what our left side will be seeing. Our left side, in order for us to continue to have a flow and not have scholars crisscross between the ones that have graduated and the ones that are about to graduate, our left side will make their way to the visitor side. So you will walk towards the middle side of the bleachers. Move on to the next picture. You will then now see this. You will walk down that particular side between the visitor stands and the chairs. We can move on to the next one. And then we're continuing to walk. Once, if you can bring one back there, right around here, Dr. J, is where we will make our way around. So the left side does have a little bit of walking. So if you're, fortunate enough to have a name that it starts with an L down through Z, you may have a little bit more walking than our counterparts with, A, B, C's, and D's. So make sure you got some comfy shoes for that particular reason. So you will go around the graduates, you will go around our staff members, you'll make your way here, and then you will walk down the home side and between there. So we could make our way there either between the chairs. We do have to play it by ear tomorrow. We'll see how it's going to look and but we want to make sure that we have you there in time. And this is really the last picture here, but you will then now follow the same route that our scholars there on the right side have walked. You will get up to the stage area there. You hand your card to the announcer, walk up the ramp, grab your diploma cover from one of our fabulous board members. Dr. Chabin will be there to greet you as well. And then I think everybody's favorite principal will also be there right after that, Dr. J, to congratulate you on the achievement. And that is our walk there, Dr. J, as far as walking and processing all the way in.
So if I could leave the whoa, I got excited. If I could leave this image up for just a moment, I want to make sure that Newman Smith is the best graduation. We actually are the first graduation, so that says a lot about the district's trust in us. And so what I'd like to make sure that you do is at the end of the ceremony, that you stay standing next to your chair and your teachers on either end of the line will lead you out, that you please not walk between the chairs. We want to go out in an orderly fashion, because the pressure's on to be the best. So we're going to have our teachers lead us out. So let's camp there for a minute. What questions do we have, Mr. Cedillo, before we close our graduation practice?
We do have a couple of questions here. One of them is as far as taking off the mask when they take the picture there for the one we're on the stage, as well as the picture for the flash photography.
Yes, I think that you would be able to take, I'm gonna confirm this, but I believe that all of the adults on the stage have been vaccinated. And so once you're crossing the stage, we'll make certain of that. But I think on the stage and in flash, you can take your mask off. At all other times, it needs to be on. If you want. If you're not comfortable, you can leave it on the whole time.
Had another question here, and actually I believe I might be able to answer this question there for you, Maddie. Can you toss the cap up at the end? I actually will have the privilege of asking you all to move your tassel over from the right to the left, symbolizing your graduation from high school. At which point in time, the directions will be, if you choose, you may toss that cap up. Seeing how every single cap is the same color, if you do want to get it back, you probably want to put your name on it, just to be able to find that same cap, or maybe not toss it as high as you are capable of tossing it, but that will be something you will be able to do.
So name on it on the inside. Remember, we can't decorate them on top, so put your name on the inside. Great question, Maddie. What else do we have, Mr. Cedillo?
We had a question in terms of the packet and the recording. If you want to answer the question on the packet, I'll answer the question on the recording.
All right, what's the question on the packet?
Where can they find the packet?
We're going to resend tonight right after this. We'll send it right after our WebEx, including our new pictures. And we will send that through the Student Square.
And as far as the recording, we are at the mercy of Cisco WebEx events. As soon as we finish this recording, it does take maybe an hour or two at the most for it to download. As soon as it is available, we will drop it into a Google Drive and be able to also send it out to families, scholars, for them to be able to see it, one more time if they would like.
Any other questions before we read the paragraph about the recessional and talk about inclement weather?
Question we had here, which in terms of the link to the live stream of the ceremony, where will that link be located?
It is already on the district page, and then it will be inserted into this packet before we send again tonight.
And just answering a question here that was asked, unfortunately, decorating of hats is not allowed. So anything that would be on the top of the actual hat would not be allowed in terms of it has to be, the stock hat exactly the way it came from Jostens, unfortunately.
Okay, well, our recessional, again, we're the first graduation, and we want to make sure that we leave in a beautiful fashion, celebrating our scholars. So please wait for the faculty and staff. They are going to be flanking both sides. Remember, they're going to actually be in seat 1 and seat 20. And they'll lead you through the recessional. Please do not break ranks, as your families will be watching your exit. We'll be filming it. We will exit back to the staging area where graduates will be asked to go to their vehicles and leave. We don't have a graduation following us, so that's really positive. So if you guys wanted to take some pictures, you would have the time to do so, but the Saturday graduations do not. So that was in there for every school, not just our school. All right, so we will have the video and any additional graduation information, which the video is, we're recording it right now, so we'll be sending it tonight. Now let's look at the inclement weather plan. Scholars, we want to ask you to please consider bringing an umbrella. Right now on the weather app, we are showing that we have the percentage of rain for tomorrow night. Let me scroll to that. It looks like it's only 30% chance of rain, but we know we're going to think positive. It doesn't look like there's a chance of lightning. Now, lightning is a different conversation, but if it is just raining, we will probably go ahead with the graduation, which is why we want to highly encourage you to please bring an umbrella. So if we have lightning, you will hear the siren go off. We have 2 trainers and 2 coaches on the home side, and your teachers will know to pull you over to the home side and into the tunnel. This will have to be done very quickly, so you'll be watching and waiting for your teachers in your lines to tell you what to do. So we will look here then at the announcements and posted awareness requirement. So the announcements will start to come over the public address system. We'll have scoreboard notification just in case. Then there's the, well, we don't want anyone struck by lightning. We will be in safety position in the tunnel and under the stadium, and also in Mary Grimes, depending on how big our crowd is. So we will be, this is all placed in your program. And so, but our teachers are aware, and they do know how to gather you quickly and safely and move you inside. So let's stop there. What questions do we have?
Dr. J, I've been answering a few of the Q&A questions. It looks like we just got one question that just came in. What happens if we are not going to have a graduation? Like if there's lightning in the middle of the graduation, do we have another chance to reschedule that?
I love whoever asked that question. We will absolutely make that happen. We will figure it out. We don't want to graduate in the lightning. We want to be safe, but if it should happen in the middle, I know and trust that our district would allow us to finish our ceremony. Can you wear a clear poncho? Absolutely. It must be clear to show your regalia. And Maddie, where do we get those clear ponchos? Go on and put it in the chat so everybody knows, because Dr. J may need to go get one. All right, any other questions, Mr. Cedillo?
We do have a question in terms of cap and gown. We will have Jostens available for cap, gown, tassel there. So if you do have any cap and gown or regalia needs, you will want to make sure that you arrive right at that 5:30 time frame. That way we can get you situated with Jostens for you to be able to get that gown to look like everybody else, look sharp, and then make your way towards that graduation.
So there's a question here about I just want to make sure I've got it right. Yeah, our diploma is going to be handed out Tuesday and Wednesday. So this will be our last share. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go pretty quickly because we will be adding this to your document that we send tonight. So let me go ahead and open, and we will be sharing this tonight. Here we go. Could I get someone to put yes in the chat if you can see my screen?
A lot of yeses, Dr. J. A lot of yeses.
Perfect. Perfect. I love our scholars. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So this is diploma pickup. You may recognize this building. Remember that on Saturday, our building will be closed until August 1st. So do not forget anything on the campus because you would not be able to retrieve it until August 1st. So this picture that you are seeing is Ted Polk Middle School, and we will be in the cafeteria. This yellow arrow shows you which doors to go in. So you won't go in the main doors. You'll be going in the cafeteria doors. Please come according to your designated date and time. I have had a few scholars email me. As long as you email me, I can approve you to go in a different group, so no problem there. The first thing you'll do when you go into the cafeteria is turn in your Chromebook. But what if I've already turned my Chromebook in? Great, you can skip that station. Because if you've already turned it in, you will be listed as clear. So you will next go to the station with Miss Andrade, and she will let you know if you are clear or unclear. If you are clear, you will follow the green arrows to pick up your diploma. And if you are unclear, you'll go to Miss Inga to make the payment, then go to Miss Frimgen and Miss Holditch for a receipt. Then you are green to go get that diploma. So this is on Tuesday and Wednesday at Ted Polk Cafeteria. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that now. Perfect. All right, well, that concludes our graduation rehearsal. The most important things: be there, be early, be ready to go, and be ready to smile and graduate. But be there, be early. Those are the biggest and most important tips. Of course, be dressed appropriately with your regalia, comfortable shoes, and an umbrella. So would a family member be able to get it if we are not able to, the diploma? If they have your scholar ID and they are listed in your teams as an emergency contact. So one more thing I wanted to ask you. I'm going to ask you from the stage to read our mission with me. So I can't hear you, but I want us to practice one time. I'll say, scholars, our mission is, and I'll say it with me. Our mission is to graduate. Are you ready? All scholars to be college, career, or military ready without remediation. And we'll say it together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, well, we're going to stop our recording. We're going to say thank you. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. Be early, be ready. Be early, be ready. All right, we love you guys. We think you're great. We'll see you tomorrow.